All right, we're continuing to follow breaking news this morning out of Kearns, and this is a live look right now at a large police presence at a church just off of 50th South and 46th West. You see a lot of cars there responding, and now as we kind of widen out, you can see the police who've also there this afternoon. So details, again, very limited on what's happening here, but there is a lot of people there attending a function there at the church, and then a lot of police responding to the incident there developing inside the building. So you can see police tape, if you look closely, just behind a lot of those cars, and then as we pan to the left, you see a lot of police cars in and out moving, a lot of officers cordoning off that entire area to be able to secure that situation there at the church. So it is serious enough that the Granite School District is just confirming 3 schools nearby are on lockdown right now. You have a lot of concerned neighbors out there. You have police, a lot, and again, a heavy presence of those officers responding. So here's kind of the details of what we know so far. You've got a couple of schools there that are very close to this. You have David Gorley Elementary, West Kearns Elementary, and although it's not seen on this particular map, we've gotten word that West Kearns Junior High School is also nearby. So you have a couple of schools right there that are concerned for a lot of parents. The protocol that they've got for these kids in that school right now is that the kids are on lockdown inside the school. So they're asking parents not to pick up their kids right now at the school. That will continue on as normal until they have the situation resolved. We have a crew who's there on the ground giving us these live looks from this camera angle here. We also have a reporter on the way to get more information about exactly what's happening and what we can confirm that we are hearing about in the newsroom. Once we get that information to you, we'll have it right here for you on KSL.
Well, new at this.
This is breaking news from KSL.
We have been keeping an eye on a developing situation out of Kearns where we understand there's a large police presence near a church.
Yeah, so we have our live reporter on scene. Andrew Adams is there gathering information here for us. So Andrew, what have you learned in the last few minutes?
Well, I did just have a police official confirm to me that this was in fact a shooting, but literally that is all we know at this point. But definitely an active scene behind me here, and I'm going to step out of frame and we can push in. You can see what's going on here, where you have police just in plain view from Unified, Taylorsville. I believe I saw a West Valley police vehicle just moments ago. And so we have multiple jurisdictions responding to what appears to be a church and some sort of gathering. There's cars in the parking lot. We don't know exactly what was taking place, or we certainly don't have confirmation of that at this point. But again, what we heard just moments ago from a police official, he did say this was a shooting. Nothing else confirmed about that. We are expecting more details here, possibly in the next 20 to 30 minutes, potentially. Don't have a firm time frame on that, but certainly it has the feeling of still sort of an active scene. There were a couple of schools in the area that where some precautions were taking place because of the police activity in the area. I think I was told moments ago that perhaps some of those precautions had been lifted, but we are tracking this. Definitely looks like a significant police presence behind us, just in plain view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 police vehicles, and that's just what I can count in line of sight. So we'll continue to keep you updated on this, bring you more information as soon as we have it. For now, back to the studio.
Andrew, quick question for you. We can see where you're standing there. Are you anywhere near a cross street or a street sign? You can tell us the exact address of where you're standing?
You were going to ask me that. It's about 4600 South and about 5000 West approximately. I think it's 5015 is the sign directly behind me. So, sorry, 5015 South and about 4600 West.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that is we've been getting some other social media kind of updates where you have that exact address. There's a funeral listed at that address at this time. So I know that's one of the things we've yet to confirm, but does that look like a funeral presence to you when you're seeing there on scene?
Well, I couldn't say it would be like, I could say it would be consistent with a crowd that would go to a church for something like that, right? And so certainly at least what you can see with multiple cars in the parking lot on a weekday, presumably it could be something like that.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
All right, Andrew Adams reporting live for us from Kearns. Thanks for keeping an eye on that. Of course, we are going to be following this developing story where you can find breaking news and any information as it comes to us. We'll be sure to pass it on to you. You can also go to KSL.com. And turning now to our...
Before we let you go, we want to give you a final update on our breaking news we're following out of Kearns, where police are confirming that a shooting has taken place at a church just off of 50th South and 4600 West. Our photographer on scene says they saw someone being escorted in the back of a police car.
We will have the latest on KSL.com and in our 4 o'clock newscast. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Portions of this program are sponsored. The Noon Show is a production of KSL-TV.
Live and streaming. This is KSL News at 6.
Chaos outside a church in Kearns as gunshots are fired outside a funeral.
Police say one man is dead and 2 others are critically wounded. And there are now officers stationed at Intermountain Medical Center in Murray in hopes of preventing further violence from spilling over. We have team coverage right now. Daniel Woodruff is at the hospital monitoring the situation there.
But first, let's go to Andrew Adams in the neighborhood where this all started. Andrew?
Well, still a police presence behind me here as detectives trying to get to the bottom of this. Investigators are looking into if there are any possible gang connections, but at this point, it's really unclear what touched off this shooting. Now, witnesses tell us that around 11:30, they heard those shots fired. Unified Police say they actually received calls ahead of time, warning there may be trouble here today, and so officers were present when those shots rang out. Witnesses told us they heard 5 shots, and then one of those witnesses described the chaos between people swarming to one area on the south side of the church here, and then others just running. Officers say they quickly spotted one man with critical injuries, and then they subsequently identified 2 others, including one guy who got into a car with a group and then fled from police. Unified Police say they pursued that car and stopped it at 4700 South and 4000 West. Neighbors say the shooting might mark the worst it's ever been here.
You know, we got some gang members that live around here. They're really cool, you know, friendly people, you know. Get some young kids tagging the fence now and then, but, you know, nothing major like this. This was scary.
Well, that man told us after the shooting he spoke to a woman attending the funeral and identified herself as a relative. He says she told him the funeral was for a man who was shot and killed back on August 7th after walking into a Chevron Holiday gas station in Riverton with a shotgun. Unclear what sort of connection there is, if any, to what happened today. Police say that first man that they encountered who was wounded ended up dying. Those other 2 men at last update were again critically wounded. We'll bring you more as we get it here on KSL. For now, back to the studio.
All right, thanks for that update, Andrew. Police from across the Salt Lake Valley responded.
Sent straight to your phone. Now to the investigation into a wildfire that threatened homes on Ogden's East Bench last month. Prosecutors now say the man who was arrested is no longer believed to have started the fire. The Mountain Road fire burned 18 acres above Ogden in July, and it prompted a large response from firefighters, including a helicopter and hotshot crews. Police arrested Justin Hurd after the fire, but Weber County prosecutors now say further investigation shows he most likely was not responsible. Instead, investigators are following up on information involving a juvenile suspect as this case remains under investigation.
All right, let's check in with Kristen Van Dyke now. And Kristen,
This was scary.
For the second time this year, gunfire erupts outside a funeral with deadly results. What we're learning in this developing investigation.
We plan a trip to Hawaii, you know, paradise, and you're in the middle of a hurricane.
a high school football team from Orem goes to Hawaii and ends up filling sandbags in the face of a hurricane. We'll hear from the players and a very proud coach.
In those days, we didn't have a building, and we were meeting in a school.
And now they have a temple. KSL-5's Mike Hedrick takes us back to his hometown of Cleveland for a personal story of faith and perseverance.
Live and streaming. This is KSL News at 10.
Good evening. Police in Salt Lake County are trying to make sense of a shooting outside a funeral that left 1 man dead and 2 others injured.
This happened in Kearns at a Latter-day Saint meeting house near 5015 South, 4460 West. News specialist Daniel Woodruff joins us live with the latest in this developing story. Daniel?
Well, police have now taken down all the crime scene tape here, and they've left the scene here at this church. But the investigation into what exactly led to this shooting here on the south side of the building over there is still underway.
I was just outside having a drink of some iced tea.
Rick Warner was at home this morning.
First thing I heard is I heard a big loud pop.
It sounded like a firecracker.
Not even a second later, boom, 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 and I heard seen chaos.
Unified police say a man was shot outside this meeting house during a funeral. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. 2 others, according to police, were critically hurt.
We believe that all the individuals involved are males.
Multiple people told KSL the funeral was for another man who was shot August 7th after bringing a shotgun into a gas station in Riverton.
We had received calls from people that were planning on attending the funeral indicating there could be a problem and asked our officers to just be visible here at the church.
Assistant Police Chief Justin Hoyle says officers were nearby when the shooting happened. The victims were taken to Intermountain Medical Center in Murray, which was quickly surrounded by police. Officers say they were there to keep the peace with family and loved ones at the hospital.
Scary for everybody, you know.
All this left Rick feeling shaken.
I've been here 14 years, and this is the worst I've ever seen in this whole neighborhood.
Now, I checked again with police tonight, and they confirmed to me that the 2 people who were injured are still alive and being treated at the hospital. Police also say they're looking into possible gang involvement as a reason for the shooting, but don't really have any answers on that yet. Police also tell us that they have identified, they believe, everybody who was involved with the shooting today. They do not believe that any additional suspects are still out there. In Kearns, live, Daniel Woodruff, KSL 5 News.
All right, Daniel, thank you. This shooting has many similarities to one that happened 7 months ago. You may remember we broke the news right here on KSL when officers responded to the parking lot of a church in Rose Park during a funeral. 8 people were shot, 2 men died. The suspect was arrested in California back in April. Police also arrested 2 others on obstruction charges. The investigation into this Kearns shooting is just the beginning. Stick with KSL as we continue the latest updates on this case. And also be sure to download the free KSL Plus app to get alerts sent straight to your phone.
New developments now on that.